Everyone, welcome back to another video, and today, or this evening rather, we have another specs based, comparison based, discussion based video. And what are we going to be talking about this evening and comparing this evening? Well, it's official. It is official. OnePlus has officially released their OnePlus Open book-style foldable device, and it is currently available for pre-order or purchase right now, but it is officially available in the United States, so it is prime competition for Samsung's Fold 5 and the Google Pixel Fold, which are the other two notebook style foldables available here in the States. Now, I know, YouTube is international, YouTube is global, and I do have a larger international audience than I do a US audience, so I know there might be a few people saying, well, internationally, there's a bunch more foldables available from Oppo, Xiaomi, Vivo, so on and so forth. Even Techno, which has a really affordable foldable in the book style foldable space. But I am based in the US, and I'm making this video from a US based content creator standpoint. And in the US, this is what we have publicly available. All right, so let's go ahead and compare the specs of the OnePlus Open, the Google Pixel Fold, and the Samsung Fold 5. And I'm going to go ahead and recommend which one I think you guys and gals should pick up. And as always with these specs-based, discussion-based videos, I will link up coverage from my favorite content creators down below in the video description. Some of the greatest content creators available on YouTube, and they do a great job with the coverage. And I'm going to go ahead and link up their coverage down below, because as I always say, it's another opportunity for me to live vicariously through my favorite content creators, because these devices via the foldables are way outside of my price point for the channel, but it is still something that I want to talk about. And in particular, when we talk about the OnePlus Open, they are coming in at a very competitive price point, and they do have some nice, really nice pre-order deals, including trade-in deals for their OnePlus Open that makes the OnePlus Open extremely affordable. And from the content that I've been able to see on the OnePlus, the software is rivaling and in some cases exceeding the performance of the Samsung Galaxy Fold 5, right? And finally, we have a foldable device based on the coverage that I saw with flagship grade cameras, right? So OnePlus, and let's be honest, it's just a rebrand. Oppo N3 is finally entering the US foldable space with a very competitive device on all aspects. But let's talk about it. We're going to talk about everything you need to know, and additional coverage will be linked up down below in the video description, as well as purchasing links, as well as affiliate purchasing links. So if you are interested in picking up either or all of these devices, consider using the affiliate links down below, because I do get a small percentage of kickback when you guys and gals use those links at no additional cost to you guys and gals. And it is another way that I can bring you guys and gals content to the channel. So all the stuff you need to know if you're interested will be linked up down below in the video description. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. All right, so let's pull this up. And I was already, as you can see, checking out pricing. And what's nice about the OnePlus Open, we might as well start with pricing first, is they're available from OnePlus directly, right? As you can see, I'm going to show y'all in a second here, but they're also available from Amazon, right? And you can see the price for the OnePlus Open. It only comes in one RAM storage variant, so 16 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of onboard storage. And you can see it's coming in before taxes at $1,700, right? Now, if we jump over to OnePlus directly here, you can see they do have it on sale right now with $200 off with trade-in, bringing it down to $1,500. And it's available in emerald green or emerald dust and black, Voyager black. But, and let me show you this, if you scroll down further, you can see there is an instant trade-in of your older device up to $1,000 off. That's right, you heard me. So potentially, you can get up to $1,000 off on your OnePlus Open, depending on what device you have to trade in. So that makes this device go from $1,700 to $700, which is infinitely more affordable, especially when we talk about foldables. And if we scroll down further here, you can see their monthly payments, okay, with 0% interest, right, are going as low as $62.50 a month for 24 months. Okay? Now you do have to go through their verification process and see what you qualify for, but that is crazy good in terms of a foldable for a monthly price point, especially for what they're offering, right? And you can see it tells you some of the ship time here, right? And then they do have their own device care program, and that's the value for the device care, okay? All right, so that for a foldable is crazy good, especially when you consider the RAM and storage options that you're getting here. Crazy good. Now let's compare that price. So basically, $700 to $1,500 if you take advantage of the pre-order or trade-in deal, depending on the device that you trade in. So it can be as high as $1,500 or as low as $700. And we're going to compare that to, let's check out the Pixel first, right? In the same RAM storage configuration. So 512 gigs of storage with 12 gigs of RAM. So Pixel doesn't give you 16 gigs of RAM, you get 12 gigs of RAM. And check it out. So for the Pixel, that's just under $1,900, right? Or $53.31 a month for 36 months. Keep in mind, this does not factor in the taxes, right? Right? And you can get that from Verizon, AT&T, Google Fi, or unlocked from Google directly. All right? You can also buy that at Best Buy and get the unlocked variant. So for that same price, the OnePlus Open is still the better deal at almost $200 to $300 cheaper, right? Okay? And let's compare that to the same storage and RAM configuration for the Z Fold 5. So let's pull up Samsung's website here, okay? And you can see the baseline version for the Samsung is $256, and it's starting out at $1,800 or $75 for 24 months. But let's say we want the equivalent to the OnePlus Open, so the 512. It's going to basically be the same as the Pixel, so just under $1,900. And you can see your monthlies are going to be $80.01 for 24 months. And day two have a up to $1,000 off trade-in deal, right? So that being said, you can get your Z Fold 5 in the same storage configuration, so 512, and I believe it's 12 gigs of RAM for the Z Fold 5, but they take advantage of virtual memory. But you can get 12 gigs of RAM and 512 gigs of storage for as little as $1,000, because you can get up to $1,000 off, and it's basically almost $2,000. So you can get your Z Fold 5 with the relevant trade-in for up to $1,000, right? Still, the OnePlus is coming in at $200 to $300 cheaper, right? So we already knocked out pricing from the jump, right? And again, you can get the Z Fold 5 from places like Best Buy unlocked. You can get the Pixel Fold from places like Best Buy unlocked. And right now, you can only get the OnePlus Open from OnePlus directly or Amazon, right? Right. So we covered the prices. We knocked the prices out up front. Now let's talk about the specifications, right? And I got to do this quickly because my tablet's going to die soon. But if we talk about specifications, we're only going to basically cover the important specifications, because I'm sure if you're checking out this video, you already have a good general idea of these devices. You're just here to see how the most important things stack up. So in terms of specifications, that's primarily what I'm going to cover, and then I'm going to make my overall recommendations. So, talking about important specifications, these are all 5G capable devices with physical SIMs and or eSIMs. Up to, I believe it's 7 eSIMs, okay, with 2 active numbers at a time, right? Now, none of these devices have micro SD card expansion, right? So you're going to have to get the storage you think you're going to need over the lifetime that you own the device, right? But in terms of maximum storage available, the Samsung goes up to 1 terabyte, whereas the OnePlus Open and the Google Pixel Fold max out at 512 gigs of storage, right? Now, the next important specification would have to be the waterproofing. And you can see in terms of waterproofing, the OnePlus Open has IPX4 versus the IPX8 on the Pixel Fold and the Z Fold 5, right? Basically, think of it as like headphone waterproofing. It can handle slight submersion, but not for too long. And basically, you want to try to avoid dust and or sand as much as possible, because if that gets into the hinge mechanisms on these devices, or the folding mechanism, that can pretty much break the device, right? But there you have it in terms of waterproofing. So IPX4 versus IPX8 on the Fold, the Z Fold 5 and the Pixel Fold, right? Now, moving on down, let's talk about the other important specification here. Let's talk about the outer display, right? Now, this is where the OnePlus Open has the decisive advantage, right? In terms of the outer display, the OnePlus Open has a 120 hertz 6.3 inch traditional 20:9 aspect ratio outer display versus the Pixel Fold's traditional 5.8 inch, right, 120 hertz outer display versus the Z Fold 5's less than ideal stretched 6.2 inch 23:1:9 aspect ratio narrow display, right? But the Z Fold 5 also does have a 120 hertz display as well. Now, all of these displays have good display technology. So, AMOLED, traditional AMOLED for your OnePlus, OLED for your Pixel Fold, and dynamic AMOLED for your Z Fold 5, right? And in my opinion, regardless of any display, it's going to be a great display for the outer displays on these devices. Now, the next important thing we need to look at is the display brightness, right? You feel me? You feel me. Now, in terms of display brightness, the OnePlus Open has the best peak display when you're using auto display brightness at 2800 nits. And then we have the Samsung Z Fold 5 when you're using auto brightness, has a peak maximum brightness of 1600 nits. And then we have the Pixel Fold coming in with the lowest peak brightness when you're using auto brightness at 1450 nits. So in terms of brightness for the inner or the outer displays, the OnePlus Open has the best. And I'll link up videos showcasing the brightness of the display down below in the video description. It really is a super bright display and it looks amazing. So that's another area where the OnePlus Open has the advantage, right? So the better traditional bigger display on the outside and the brighter display. So right away, the OnePlus has the advantage over the other two, right? Now, moving on here, let's dive into the other important aspects. Let's talk about the cameras. Now, in regards to the cameras, based on what I've seen, I still think the Pixel Fold takes slightly better photos in regards to what I've seen from the coverage of all three of these devices. And in terms of video, I think the OnePlus Open has the best video out of all of these devices. But you can see in terms of the cameras, the OnePlus Open has two 48 megapixel primary sensors, one 48 megapixel primary, one 48 megapixel telephoto, and then a 64 megapixel, oh my bad, I read that backwards. A 64 megapixel telephoto, and then a 48 megapixel ultra wide, right? Versus the Pixel Fold's 48 megapixel primary, 10 megapixel telephoto, and then 10 megapixel ultra wide. Versus the Z Fold 5's less than ideal 50 megapixel primary, 10 megapixel telephoto, and then 12 megapixel ultra wide. And by far, the weakest point on the Z Fold 5 is the primary rear facing cameras. We have been asking for years for Samsung to bring the flagship camera experience over to the Fold series. Especially for what the device is worth, it should have a flagship level camera experience. And with the competition in the Pixel Fold and OnePlus Open, now Samsung has no excuse not to bring a more flagship experience, camera experience to their next foldable device. Because I'm telling you right now, in terms of photo performance, Samsung is getting handled, right? In terms of video performance, Samsung is getting handled, all right? So the only edge that I think Samsung has now in regards to the foldables, in regards to the book style foldable, would be their software experience, which OnePlus has handily closed the gap, because OnePlus's software experience on the OnePlus Open is just, it looks phenomenal. It looks phenomenal. I can't wait to get down to my local Best Buy and try it out in store. Sure, it's going to be a display unit, but still want to play with it a little bit. But the OnePlus Open software looks leaps and bounds better than the Samsung software in my experience. Now, Samsung still does have the advantage with their desktop-like experience with the Samsung DeX, with some of their screen mirroring capabilities in regards to the software, but the OnePlus Open is close. And OnePlus is offering the same thing in regards to what Samsung is offering in regards to software and security patch support. So OnePlus is offering 4 years of major OS updates and then 5 years of security patches, and that's what Samsung is offering for their devices as well, which sadly falls behind what Google is offering with their Pixel Fold in the traditional 3 years of OS updates and 5 years of security patches. So in regards to the Pixel Fold, it does have the edge in photo performance, but it's kind of fallen behind everywhere else. In terms of video performance, it's fallen behind. In terms of software experience, it's fallen behind. And in terms of software support, it has fallen behind, right? Whereas OnePlus is kind of lined up on par with what Samsung offers and offers the better camera experience, all right? And that goes for the front-facing cameras as well. So you can see with the OnePlus, right, you can do all the way up to 4K, 60 FPS with the rear-facing camera, primary camera, all right? Or you can do 4K 30 on all of the other cameras, right? So you can do 4K 60 on the primary 48 megapixel sensor, or if you want to use the telephoto ultra wide and the primary, you have to bump it down to 4K 30. But you can do 4K 30 recording on the front-facing camera as well, right? Which is something that you don't have full access to as good as it should be on your Z Fold 5, right? And you don't have access to that as good as it should be on your Google Pixel Fold, right? So the OnePlus in regards to the cameras definitely has the advantage in the cameras in terms of video performance, right? That being said, all of these devices do have stereo speaker setups, or in OnePlus's case, it's a tri-speaker setup because they have a triple speaker setup versus Pixel's stereo speakers and Samsung's stereo speaker setup, right? All of them do have the latest version of Wi-Fi. The OnePlus and the Z Fold 5 have the latest version of Bluetooth and Bluetooth 5.3, whereas the Pixel Fold is one generation behind in Bluetooth 5.2, but it's not a big deal. They all have USB Type-C, but the Pixel Fold and the Z Fold 5 offer the newer USB Type-C 3.2. So you get slightly faster data transfer speeds, whereas the OnePlus Open has USB Type-C 3.1, but all three of these devices support OTG support, so you can plug in USB Type-C flash drives, USB Type-C external hard drives, and transfer your files back and forth, so on and so forth. All right, so they're neck and neck in that aspect. They all have fingerprint sensors. Now, it's side-mounted fingerprint sensors across the board here, right? With NFC across the board here, right? And the only thing in terms of the software that Samsung has, in my experience, is the Samsung DeX and the better screen mirroring support, right? But OnePlus is very close. Google still has a lot of work to do. Other than that, the OnePlus does have a pretty decent sized battery at 4805 milliamp hours, and that's slightly bigger than the Z Fold 5 at 4400 milliamp hours, but that's slightly smaller than the Pixel Fold at 4821 milliamp hours. Now, another big thing here is the OnePlus device, the OnePlus Open, has the fastest capable wired charging out of the bunch at 67 watts, meaning that you can charge up your OnePlus Open anywhere from 35 to 45 minutes. Whereas with your Pixel Fold and your Z Fold 5, they have the slower, is 27 watts for the Pixel and 25 watts wired charging for the Z Fold. But the Pixel and the Z Fold have wireless charging, right? The Pixel is 11 watts wireless charging, and the Z Fold 5 is 15 watts, right? But the Z Fold 5 does have another cool feature in that it does have reverse wireless charging, whereas the Pixel Fold and the OnePlus Open do not, right? Now, you can still reverse wired charge with your OnePlus Open, but there's no wireless charging and there's no reverse wireless charging, right? So there is some advantages still that the Z Fold 5 have over the competition, but it's very close, right? And that, guys and gals, basically go over the primary specifications that I think it's important to know about all three of these devices. Now, which one would I recommend? Okay, now I'm going to do these recommendations from 3 different categories, and keep in mind, this is just my opinion based on the coverage that I watched from my favorite content creators. I haven't had any physical hands-on with the device. I do not have any physical experiences with these devices. These devices are sadly too far outside my price range. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I always keep it straight 100 around here. It's too affordable for me, okay? Y'all know the price points that I stick to. It's too affordable for me. But I still wanted to share my opinion and give y'all some key specifications if you just wanted a quick and dirty rundown of the key specifications between these 3 really good foldable devices. Now, in terms of recommendations, I'm going to do this from 3 different categories, all right? Number 1 is going to be price. Number 2 is going to be photo performance. And number 3 is going to be video performance. Number 4, if I had a number 4, would be software experience. But that's kind of personal preference. But I might still touch on it. But number 1, if you're going strictly based off of price, as I showed y'all at the start of the video, the OnePlus Open is available at the cheaper price, ranging in price from, at most, with trade-ins, $700, right? Or if you don't do any trade-ins, but you still take advantage of the pre-order deals, it's going to be $1,500. Without any trade-ins or pre-order deals, it's going to be $1,700, right? Versus the almost $2,000 for the Pixel Fold or the almost $2,000 for the Z Fold 5, right? So in terms of pricing, the OnePlus Open is coming in $200 to almost $300 cheaper than the competition without trade-in deals or without pre-order deals, right? But it's leaps and bounds better if you do take advantage of the trade-in and the pre-order deals, right? So in terms of price, I would recommend the OnePlus Open. Now, in terms of photo performance, if you're just the type of person that likes to take photos and you want to have a device with a bigger canvas so you can edit your photos and do other multitasking things, then you're looking at the Pixel Fold, right? Then, in terms of video performance, if you're a content creator or just someone that values really good video, and again, you want that bigger canvas to work on your videos or so on and so forth, you're looking at the OnePlus Open, right? The only reason I would recommend the Z Fold now is if you are a more productivity-oriented person. The Z Fold and the One UI software still have the advantage in terms of productivity based on what I've seen. Now, put a big ass asterisk next to that. Now, I don't mean to curse. Put an asterisk next to that because the OnePlus Open software is extremely good based on what I've seen and based on what the content creators have said about it. And it is really close to rivaling what Samsung offers. And I'm sure over time, it is going to get better, and especially with the fact that they pretty much offer the same software support as Samsung in 4 years of OS updates and 5 years of security patches. Oh, they're going to be running neck and neck for the lifetime or the lifespan of these foldable devices, right? So those are my recommendations. So once again, if I said it too fast, if you want really good video performance and you want a really good overall software performance, go with the OnePlus Open, right? If you want really good photo performance and you just want a bigger canvas, go with the Google Pixel Fold. And if you want a productivity beast of a device, then you will still want to go with the Z Fold 5, but it's extremely close still, right? But that does it for my specs-based, discussion-based video. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, you know what to do. Also, if your interest is piqued, all the links, as I mentioned earlier, will be available down below. So links to my favorite content creators coverage, links to affiliated buy links that will support the channel, as well as where you can get good deals on where you can pick up any of the devices that you're interested in. All of that good stuff will be available down below in the video description. So as always, the video description will be like a one-stop shop for you guys and gals, and you should be good to go. Now, I won't put out this video right away because I'm still waiting on a few of my favorite content creators to drop their coverage on these devices. Once all the coverage from my favorite content creators are out, I will drop this video, right? So y'all be on the lookout for when this video drops. I hope you guys and gals enjoyed the video. I hope you guys and gals found it helpful. If you did, you know what to do. Please help your boy out by giving the video a thumbs up. That really does help me out. You don't know how much. As always, if you would like to see more specs-based, discussion-based, opinion-based videos like this, and it does take a lot of time to make these style of videos, even though I don't have hands-on with the devices. It takes a lot of research and time to scour YouTube to find the coverage and to scour the internet to find the best deals. So if you want to see more videos like this, please feel free to hit that subscribe button down below and click off the notification bell icon right next to it so you guys and gals get notified when I publish new videos. All right? That being said, let's get into a nice, respectful conversation down below in the comments as to what you guys and gals think is the best foldable available in the United States based on your opinions. And further still, if you're not in the United States, what do you feel is the best affordable foldable available globally? All right, so let's get into a nice, respectful conversation about those two questions down below. And remember, we're all grown-ups here, okay? Because I don't allow anyone on the channel that's not at least 18. So we're all grown-ups here, and we should all be able to respectfully share our opinion. So keep it respectful, please, if you decide to comment and share your opinions down below in the comment section. All right? Hope everyone is having a great evening. I hope you guys and gals are staying safe out there, and I will catch everyone in the next video. Have a good one, everybody. We are out of here. Peace.